life begun with all the potential of God's love and will. A life that one day will go on into eternity. A life that would never have begun here on earth without Laganov Wesleyan Hospital. A child born. A mother's life saved. God's love shown through a caring and efficient hospital staff. Some might ask, is this hospital really needed? The resounding answer is yes. It's a matter of life or death. Through active Wesleyan Medical Fellowship chapters throughout North America, Wesleyan healthcare professionals are being used by God to meet the real needs of real people. Wesleyan Medical Fellowship, or WMF, was established in 1972 as an auxiliary of the Wesleyan Church to bring together the medical community and others with the common bonds of medicine, healthcare, and Christian service. As physicians, dentists, and members of other medical professions participate in various Wesleyan projects around the world, they are carrying out the mission of Wesleyan Medical Fellowship.
I think it's a wonderful place to work because this hospital is really needed. This is the only hospital that people have to go to on the island for serious things. And people notice here that we did a C-section on a lady that had a placenta in the front of the uterus outlet, and she was bleeding before the delivery had even started. And if she wouldn't have had that operation, she would have been bleeding to death and the baby would have never made it either. So I can just go on like that there are things happening in the hospital every day that makes such a difference in the lives here.
This is the average work day that we have here today. I just finished making rounds in the pediatrics ward. Typically we have about 60 to 70 patients, and I try to see about half of those each day, and then I see the other half the next day, and I see any sick patients that we have each day. A big part of what I do here is make rounds and take care of the sickest patients and help the clinical officers, and also I'm the one that does the surgery, of course, here. For the first time now, the hospital has oxygen from an oxygen concentrator that we were able to buy, and an anesthesia machine that we were able to get from Samaritan's Purse. We also have an ultrasound for the first time in this hospital, and that's allowed a lot of diagnosis of the heart and abdomen that we were unable to do in the past. All this is possible because of the support that we've gotten back home, and it's benefited these patients so much to have this new equipment and the new capabilities that we have here.
One of the long-term projects is to provide financial assistance to those patients who can't afford the cost of medical treatment. Indigent funds help clinics and hospitals in Haiti, Sierra Leone, and India. In Zambia, with inadequate funds coming from the government, medicines are subsidized through the Emergency Medicines for Zambia Fund.
How many patients you see in a day?
Okay, in a day we usually see an average of 30 patients. Yeah, that means at times we can see more than 30 patients, sometimes less than 30, but it's an average of 30 patients.
Okay. And what are the diseases that are most prevalent in this area?
Okay, the major diseases, or the diseases that are prevalent, malaria is number one on the list. Malaria followed by respiratory tract infections.
Do you see a lot of AIDS cases or AIDS-related diseases here?
AIDS cases, it's difficult for me to say that we see those, because for me to say that we see those, it means that they've had gone through medical examinations, say lab and so on. But at this clinic we don't do lab examinations. But of course we do see diseases related to AIDS. So those are there in numbers actually.
And what type of diseases do you see that are related to AIDS?
We have profuse diarrhea. That is diarrhea which lasts for more than a month, say 3 months or so. And TB, herpes zoster, all those are common.
To meet the real needs of overseas medical facilities, Wesleyan Medical Fellowship assists short-term medical missionaries with their expenses and support through the Short-Term Medical Assistance Fund. When missionary doctors and medical personnel need to keep professionally current, the Continuing Medical Education Fund assists to meet this need. The training of people to meet the medical requirements of their own people is essential to the continuation of medical care. The Nationals Scholarship Assistance Fund helps to make this possible.
The school is a ministry, a love that God has placed in my heart for many years. And this particular class, which we started about 2 years ago, have proven over and over again that God is big enough in their lives for all of the situations that they go through, for tragic things and for really good things. They have gone through deaths in their family. They have gone through multiple deaths in their family. They have just pulled through, and it's been just fascinating to watch how they've grieved and how they've sorrowed and how they've clung to God and clung together.
The hospital is doing a great work in encouraging the spiritual life of the people. They come, they don't know God, and since they don't know God, they have no hope. They think they are going to die. But the hospital helps them spiritually to know that God is their hope. If they die, they may lose their body, but their soul is going to be saved for eternity. I just have a deep affection for these people who come to the hospital. I have the privilege of pointing them to God, who can help them as well.
With a continually changing international scene, the Wesleyan Medical Fellowship newsletter is designed to link members with the ongoing challenges and current medical needs around the world. It also highlights the activities of our members as well as to report on the progress of the projects. Another role in which Wesleyan Medical Fellowship serves the Wesleyan Church is to encourage those pursuing a career in medicine. WMF offers students guidance, assistance, and fellowship with those who have already completed the rigorous medical training to become medical professionals. WMF also works closely with Wesleyan World Missions to assist with the recruitment of those interested in short-term medical ministry trips and those who sense God's call to a career in medical missionary service. In each of these areas, the Wesleyan Medical Fellowship touches the lives of people. There are hundreds of people alive today because of the love, care, and involvement of members of Wesleyan Medical Fellowship.
I believe my son would not be here if it wasn't for the medical help he received at the hospital.
There's a big difference in the way this hospital and the doctors in the hospital here take care of patients. They are not here for the money. They are here to treat the sick.
To the Laguna population, this is an indispensable hospital.
And we have tracts that we give, and we have devotions with the patients, and that's what the chaplain does. And then we have devotions with the chaplain, with the staff, and we pray before the operations. And I can really see this hospital is an instrument that God is using, and I feel honored to be a part of that.
This hospital is crucial to the life of the island.
I'm not here by my strength or force. If it weren't for God's grace, I wouldn't be here.
God is here. God is working in our midst. We have a wonderful opportunity to be a part of what He's doing right here on this island. And we need people to come down and help.